Hey, welcome back, everybody. And today we have another Freight Broker Bootcamp Live. It's Monday at noon Eastern Time, and I'm excited you're here. If you're catching this on replay, hit me up in the chat box and let me know, hashtag replay. Love to see how many of you are catching this on replay versus live. Either way is great. I love it when you join me for any of these live trainings or on replay. And again, if you want to catch these replays afterwards, you can always check them out on the Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page or on YouTube, because I also have the replays as well as edited versions of these videos on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/freight brokers. You can check it out or just search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. You'll find me. So today we're going to talk about how to set up your freight broker website for under 50 bucks. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to set up your freight broker website for under 50 bucks. But before we do that, so this is going to be a pretty short training today. Okay. But before we do that, and then at the end, I know I'm jumping around here, but at the end, we're going to do some live Q&A. It is the holidays, so I apologize. I'm probably going to cut things a little bit short today. I'm sure you won't be too upset because I'm sure you have plenty of things to do, whether that be work or family or whatever it is you have going on. And by the way, happy holidays. I hope you guys are enjoying the holidays. I'm having a fantastic time with my family. Going to take my daughter and her friend sledding today. We've been sledding a little bit before Christmas. We had some snow, but on Christmas Day, we got hit with like a foot of snow. So we are going to go sledding today. So that's part of the agenda for the afternoon. But right now, we're going to talk about how to set up your website for under 50 bucks. But before we dive into that, we're going to let some people get live. And I want to hear from you in the chat box. Where are you guys logging in from? Hit me up with the city and state that you're logging in from. I'll try to get you a shout out. We've got Paul Spates from Frisco, Texas. We've got Atari Thomas from Martin, Tennessee. Welcome. We have Mamoon Awel from Minneapolis. We've got Keith from Moreno Valley, California. We've got Island Spice 7 from Douglas, Georgia. We've got Logan Payne from Fort Myers, Florida. We got more. Holy cow. We got a lot of people here today, so that's exciting. Awesome. We got Brown Boy from Orlando, Florida. We got Larry Little from Plano, Texas. Cindy Kane, as always, from Houston, Texas. Dina Hedden from Siler City, North Carolina. Mary from Jacksonville, Florida. Project Nerdvana from New York City. Welcome Martin Garcia from Anaheim, California. James Baxter from Lexington, South Carolina. Alma Estera from Alma, New Jersey. Valerie Charles from Henderson, Tennessee. James Kindle from Cedar Hill, Texas. David Sapita from St. Paul, Minnesota. We got people from all over the place logging in today. That's awesome. Michelle from San Antonio. Regina from Rhineville, Kentucky. We've got Tani One Love from Los Angeles, Casey from Good Morning, wherever you're from, Casey. Mark from Wappinger Falls, New York, I'm assuming. Diggy Dang from Stockton. Shakari Dixon from Columbia, South Carolina. Man, all over the place, guys. Well, listen, thank you for joining me. Again, I do these lives every Monday at noon. There's no charge. You didn't see a paywall gate. You didn't get asked to put your credit card in. So the price of admission is this. Like the stream, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, smash the like button. Hit the like button right now while we're preparing to get going. And I want you to share the stream. If you think this information is valuable and interesting and compelling, and you want me to continue these free trainings every week, then I need you to share the stream. Just click share. Share it on Facebook. Share it on YouTube, share it on anywhere, share it wherever you can. Okay. I appreciate it. It helps the community. The more people we have in this community, the more good questions, the more feedback, the more energy, the more time I invest in it, and the more benefit to everybody. It's a win-win-win. Okay. So again, hit the like button, share the stream. That's your price of admission. That's all I ever ask of you when you join these live streams and participate. At the end, we're going to do some live Q&A. So I'm excited for that as well. I hope you guys are ready to go, because today we are going to talk about, and I'm going to share with you exactly how to set up your website, your freight broker website, for under 50 bucks. I know it's kind of hard to believe that we can do this for under 50 bucks, but I think we can do it. And I'm actually going to walk you through the steps on how to do that. Now, before we dive into exactly how, this coordinates and goes hand in hand with an update that I've just recently made to my Freight Broker Bootcamp online course. Now, for many years, I've offered HTML website templates as a bonus for members of our Freight Broker Bootcamp community. If they became a student, they would be able to log into the website. They'd be able to download those HTML websites. Well, we're upgrading and we're phasing out the HTML websites, and we've now upgraded them to WordPress templates, WordPress websites. So these are fully functional WordPress websites, very easy to get set up, a lot easier than the HTML websites. And that's what I'm going to walk you through today. I'm actually going to share with you some of those templates. I'm going to show you some examples of those templates, what you would get if you were a Freight Broker Bootcamp member. And then I'm going to walk you through how to set those up. So let me see if I can figure out how to share my desktop. And we will go from there. All right, so share screen. All right, so here we are. You guys should be seeing, let me know and confirm that you guys are seeing the actual, geez, let me get back here. Sorry about that. Application window, boom. All right, so let me know in the chat box that you guys are actually seeing this screen. You should be seeing Freight Broker Bootcamp, and you should see article directory, tools, video tutorials, so on and so forth. Now, this is if you are already logged in as a Freight Broker Bootcamp member, which means you've already enrolled as either a gold or a platinum member, and you now have access to this bonus material, okay? So let me know in the chat box that you guys can see it. Great, awesome. Okay, cool, thank you so much. All right, so these are the new website templates. So let me just kind of walk you through. If you log into the membership area, you're gonna see website templates under tools, and then you'll see the ability to download WordPress templates or download HTML templates. Now, we've had these for a while, and we're going to be phasing these out because they're a lot more difficult and they're kind of outdated. But these are brand new. I literally just added these in the last several days, okay? So if you click on this, what's going to happen is it's going to bring you to the WordPress website template download page where you can actually download these templates. You can view the templates and download them. So you can see step number one, select your website template and then download the file to your PC. That's step number one, okay? So here's an example of a website. This is a WordPress template that I created, and I created a little bit of a demo video there. You can see it has all the primary areas. It's a one-page website, which makes it very easy to set up and very inexpensive to get started. You can always evolve and add more pages, but this is a very easy way to get started. So it has the home page. You can see it has the about section. It also has services, and it also has contact. So they have the ability to contact you. Again, this is a one-page website template. It's fully customizable, meaning you can customize all the words, all the images. You can customize the contact information. You can customize everything on this template very simply. Okay, so that's why I created them. You can even, there's an even section here for your logo, your company logo. Very simple to customize. Here's an example of another website template. You can see it has all the primary areas. It has the home, it has the about, it has the services section, it has the contact, and all of these images and words and content are all customizable, very easily customizable for you. And if you set them up as a website template, you won't even have to have a web developer change this content in the future. You can literally just log in and change these words, change these headings. It's very, very simple, okay? So that's another one of the templates. And here's the third template that I've added up to this point, which some of them look similar, but there are different designs. You can see notice the difference in the colors, the images, and the layout. These are 3 WordPress templates that any Freight Broker Bootcamp member can now access and download directly from the membership area. So if you're not enrolled and you're interested in getting started, take advantage of this bonus, one of the bonuses and tools built into the program. Just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com, check it out. There's a couple different ways you can get signed up as a member, gold member, platinum member, a variety of different ways you can do that. ultimately, you can't go wrong. The platinum membership is my preference because you get lifetime access, lifetime support. You never pay another dollar, and we fully help and support you grow your business for as long as you're in business. Okay. So that's some of the templates you can now access directly from the membership. All right. So all you would do is if you picked one of these templates, or you could download all of them, you just simply click here and it will download it directly to your PC. You can save it to your desktop or save it to your download file or wherever you want to save it. And then from there, what we need to do is we need to go to shared hosting. We need to set up a host. Okay. So I've set up a special deal where you guys can go in and actually, I'm going to show you this really quick. Just give me 1 second. All right. And let me just pull this off really quick. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So let's share this other screen here. All right, so you should be seeing this URL. It has freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host. That's freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host. Why don't I put that up here on the screen for everybody to see? All right, and then I'm going to highlight that. All right, so here it is, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host. This is a special deal and program that I set up with the host that I use in order to help you get started. Literally, you can start hosting your website for like $3 or $4 a month. Super inexpensive, okay? And so if you hit that, what's going to happen is it's going to bring you over to Bluehost, okay? Now, Bluehost is the host of choice that I use. This is the same exact website host that I use to host my different websites, okay? So when you hit on this website, there's a couple things you can do here. First of all, you're going to want to get a domain name, right? So if you click on domains, it's going to pull up a section where you can actually search for a potential domain name. Now, the domain name could be your company name, like ABC Logistics, right? That's probably taken. But if we put a 1 at the end, obviously that's not what you would want to do. But I just want to show you an example. So you can see that this domain is available. Now, this isn't necessarily a domain you would get. I just wanted to find one that was available. And then all you have to do, you don't need the privacy and protection. All you do is simply, it's going to be $12.99 a year to own that domain, whatever your domain is. You simply click proceed and you're going to be able to check out and you will now own that domain. That's how easy it is to own your domain, right? You can search, you can do as many searches on here as you want for your domain name that you choose. Figure out a domain name that works for you, something related to your company name or something related to the services that you provide. Just do a little bit of searching there and you'll find something that works for you. Once you find your domain name, you will own that domain name. It'll only cost you like $12, $13 a year to own that domain name. It'll renew every year. You can set it up with automatic renewal. And then once you have the domain name, the next thing you're going to want to do is set up hosting. So you will go to this section here, WordPress hosting, click on WordPress hosting, and then you can choose a plan for as little as $3.95 a month. So if you choose a plan right here, all you need for your website is a basic plan. You do not need anything elaborate, a basic plan. One website, free SSL certificate, 50 gigs, all of this, plus $200 in marketing credit. That's a special offer, particularly if you sign up through the link that I just shared with you. So you get all this for $3.95 a month, okay? So it's super cheap, super easy to get started. So that's what you would need. First step was to download the template. Second step was to get your domain and set up your web host. And now the third step, let me show you the third step here really quick. The third step, now that was the host, right? freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host. That's the special offer where you guys can get set up with that domain and the website hosting. All right. So now the next step is you're going to want to go to This is where you really are going to want to check this out. This is really the magic behind this whole thing. It makes it really, really simple. Okay. So if you were to go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/website, that's going to bring you to, and I'm going to show you really quick. Right. That's going to bring you to Fiverr.com, which is right where you want to go. Let me show you. Once I find it. All right. So this is going to bring you to Fiverr.com. So if you were to simply type in freightbrokerbootcamp.com/website, this is going to bring you over to Fiverr.com. Now, Fiverr is a freelancer site. And what it does is it allows you to get your website set up very quickly, very easily, without having to be a techie, without having to be some technological guru, right? So once you click on that link and you go over to Fiverr, you can simply search for WordPress setup, WordPress website setup, right? You can do that, and it's going to pull up a bunch of different freelancers that will help you install your WordPress setup and even customize your theme, right? So I'll create, there's all kinds, and you can see here, some of them start at $5, some of them are $10, some of them are, here's a perfect example of one. We'll install WordPress and customize WordPress website. Simple, right? This guy's an example of someone where you can get started for $10, right? Literally, if you want to upgrade it a little bit with some additional plugins, and additional features, you can go up to 50. And if you want to really add a lot, which you probably don't need to first get started, you can do over 100. But you can see here for under $10, for about $10, you can get started with that. So that's an example of how you can customize these websites and get your WordPress website set up for literally $10, right? So I just want you guys to know that. Let me just make sure that this is showing the way I want it to here. Right. Okay, great. So remember, step number 1 was to get enrolled in Freight Broker Bootcamp, download the website templates that I shared with you. Step number 2 was to go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host, which is where you'll set up your domain and you'll set up your web hosting program, right? Your package. The third step is to go to Fiverr.com through that link that I share with you, which is freightbrokerbootcamp.com/website. Okay. And that's going to bring you over to Fiverr.com, where you can then find a freelancer very easily, just like I showed you, just like the example here on the screen, where this person will help you install the WordPress website, customize the WordPress website, and get it all set up and running for $10, right? So we just accomplished what I said we were going to do. We number 1, we set up your website, your Freight Broker website, for under $10. Now, the big question is, and I probably should have started with this, which is, why do you need a website as a freight broker? And the answer is yes. Right? So you should have a website. Now, is it 100% must? Are there brokers that don't have websites? Yes, there are, right? But here's what my suggestion is. Set up a website because it helps, because it adds to your credibility as a startup. If you have a website that looks nice and clean and professional and designed in such a way, perfect example. If you had a website like the one I'm going to share, I'll share the one that we have the templates again, right? I'll show you some of those templates, right? Let me just show you really quick. We'll go back to those templates real quick, right? If you have a website that looks like one of these website templates, but is fully customized to you, right? And you have this website set up, the difference in the way people will perceive you as being highly professional. And that's important because you're telling a story. As a startup, you need to ooze credibility. You need to figure out any way possible to increase the level of credibility and authority that you have in your space. And having a website, as I just showed you, for under $50 is one of the easiest and fastest ways to build your credibility. So I do highly suggest that you do set up your website. I just gave you a really simple, basic three-step format, log in and download templates. Go to the freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host to get your domain and your website set up, or your domain and your web hosting set up. And then from there, let's see if I'm back on screen here. Okay, good. Then from there, you can simply just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com website, which will bring you over to Fiverr. You use that special link, and they offer discount codes, and they're gonna give you better ratings. They're gonna give you, you're gonna have a lot more options. And again, I will be fully transparent. Those are affiliate links for me to Bluehost and Fiverr. It'll help us out a little bit. It costs you nothing more. Matter of fact, sometimes they will offer special pricing and discounts if you use those links. But again, those are affiliate links, just being totally transparent with you guys. So those are basically the 3 steps that you need to take in order to set up your freight broker website for under $50. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, if you're curious about becoming a freight broker, check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. You will get access to all of those tools. You'll get access to all of the training. If you're a platinum member, you get lifetime access, lifetime support. If you're already a member of Freight Broker Bootcamp, which I'm sure a lot of you are that are watching this right now, log into your Bootcamp account and you can download those templates. You can follow this process, and you can literally have your website up and running in probably the next 24 to 48 hours, depending upon which contractor you select through Fiverr.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, and share. And I'm here every Monday at noon. So make sure you join me Mondays at noon for these Freight Broker Live trainings. So now we're going to do some live Q&A. And I feel a little discombobulated here. I feel like I'm a little unorganized, but I'm going to grab a quick drink. We're going to do some live Q&A. So start hitting me up with some questions. This is going to be short. I'm probably only going to do about 10 minutes worth of questions. I do usually do a lot more, but I do want to get, I got a bunch of things to do before I take my daughters sledding. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the training, and I hope you have some good questions. I don't care if the questions are about setting up a website. I don't care if the questions are about whatever it is about freight broker, freight agent related. Feel free to fire off some questions, and I will do my best to answer them. So let me grab a quick drink. We'll do a small commercial for Bai, even though I'm not compensated by them. I'm a big fan. Who here has ever drank Bai? Have you ever drank Bai, B-A-I? I love the blueberry. Have you guys ever drank this or seen this? It's amazing. There's no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, or 1 gram of sugar, no artificial sweeteners. It's awesome. Plus it has tons of like antioxidants and vitamins and stuff in it. Tastes so good. Again, I'm not compensated, but ultimately, I just figured I'd share, do a quick infomercial for them. So, all right, so let's see what we got. Let's see what questions we got here. All right. All right, so here's a good question from Dawn. What if I already have a domain name with GoDaddy? No problem. It's not an issue at all. If you have a domain name with another host, it's not a big deal if you already own that domain name. What will happen is when you set up, when you find a contractor or you find a freelancer on Fiverr.com, you will have to give them, they'll ask you for some information from your Google or from your GoDaddy domain host, and they will be able to host everything through Bluehost, but using your GoDaddy domain name. So it's not an issue. They'll walk you through step by step on how to do that. It doesn't matter who you have your domain name with. You don't have to host with that same domain company. Okay. So I've used GoDaddy in the past. I still have a bunch of domains with them, but I don't have the domains, but I don't do web hosting with them because I had a lot of issues in the past with them. So I switched over to Bluehost, and it's been amazing. So if you guys want to check that out again, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/host. That's where you can not only get your domain names, but you can also get your web hosting for starting. You saw like $3 or $4 a month. You get full web hosting and support from them. So hope that helps. Good question though. That's a really good question. All right, here's another really good question. Lorraine asks, do you need a website if you just want to start out as a freight agent? The answer is no, you don't have to, because typically what will happen is you will piggyback off of your broker's website. So if you are working for ABC Logistics and you're an agent under them, you will use their website as the source of information for your shippers. So you will direct them to that website. Now, there are pros and cons to that, but ultimately that's how most agents operate. Now, after you become a little bit more established, you may want to set up your own website, and that website would be more about Lorraine than it would be about anything else. Because when shippers are doing business with you, they're doing business with you. They're not doing business with the logo. They're not doing business with your broker as an agent. As an agent, they're doing business with you. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they're doing business with you. It's not so much the brand. Okay, you are the brand. So later on, after you get more established, you may want to set up your own personal brand website where you could tell a little bit more of your story and why people want to work with you. You could talk about your niche more as opposed to the company brand site, the broker's site, because that's not going to really talk about you. It's not going to talk about your niche. It's not going to talk about your experience. So I think that initially starting up as an agent, you definitely don't need a website. Just direct everything to your broker website. But as you start to get more established, you may want to set up your own personal brand website, which would focus more on you, your niche, your experience, and why they should do business with you. So I hope that helps. Good question, Lorraine. Thank you. All right. So any other questions? All right. So Jennifer says she's a platinum member, which means she's already a student. She needs help with shippers. Well, Jennifer, that's how every entrepreneur starts out. Every entrepreneur starts with 0 customers, right? So, here, there is no secret sauce. There is no tricks in order to get customers. Here's the steps. If you're going to become a broker, you got to get your authority first. If you're going to become an agent, you got to get a contract with a brokerage. Those are the initial steps after getting trained, right? You've already taken the first step, which is getting trained. Then you've either set up your brokerage or find your broker that you're going to partner with. The third is you need to identify your niche. You need to find a niche. I'm a big believer in riches are in niches inside the freight and logistics industry and outside that industry. From there, you're going to make a list of prospects. And then you're going to start contacting those prospects. Some people choose to contact those prospects through cold calling, and cold calling does work. It's not easy, but it works. Some people choose to use social media like I did using LinkedIn and social selling. It takes a little bit of training. It takes a little bit of time, but it does work. Some people choose to use cold email where they're doing outreach via email. Some companies and people choose to do all 3. I say what you need to do, Jennifer, is get on the whatever it takes plan. Whatever it takes to start having conversations with your target market is what you need to do in order to start getting shippers. Because here's the good news. The good news is if you can just land one shipper, just one small shipper, I'm not talking about a big windfall, right? One small shipper, okay? If they do 1 load a week with you, right? 1 load a week, I'm horrible at math, but if you do 1 small shipper and that shipper does it, and you're doing truckload, and the average truckload value, let's say, is $1,500, which is pretty reasonable, and you make a 15% margin, okay, that's $225 in profit on that 1 load. Now, if they do 1 of those a week with you for a year, and we multiply that times 52, that's $11,700 in profit from 1 small shipper in the HIP National Bank. Goes right in your pocket. Those are profits, right? Because you have very little, if any, overhead, right? It's very low overhead. So 1 shipper can generate you way more than that, but that's just a small shipper doing 1 load per week at 15% margins, right? So that's very realistic, not pie in the sky, and is very doable. Follow the steps in the training. Find your niche. Figure out what method you're going to use to start doing outreach to them, and get on the whatever it takes plan. I think you're smart for being in these live trainings. We have tons of sales training specific, not only in the Freight Broker Bootcamp program, but also on my YouTube channel, which you can check out. I have an entire playlist, right? An entire playlist of sales related trainings that are free through YouTube you can check out. So that would be my suggestion to you, Jennifer. I'm sure you're going to do great. So Michelle asks, how do you start your business plan? This is a good question. Here's what I think. I don't think you need to have a super elaborate business plan to start as a freight broker. But I do think that you need to have an abbreviated short business plan. And that business plan, I actually share as a part of the Freight Broker Bootcamp membership. We do have a templatized business plan. It's a sample of a business plan that you can download. Now, it's not going to be your business plan, but it's another broker business plan, which will actually show you how business plans are written. I don't think you need to get afraid or scared. I'll be extremely honest with you. I did not, when I started my brokerage back in 2003, I did not have a formal business plan. Now, I had a plan and I had some things down on paper, but I didn't spend months putting together a 20 or 30 page business plan because I didn't need to go raise capital. I wasn't seeking out investors. I just needed some clarity on what the first steps were. And that's part of the advantage of being part of freightbrokerbootcamp.com or, Freight Broker Bootcamp, because I guide you through those steps, right? We help you with that. And in addition to the training, we offer online support where you guys can come into live trainings like this. You can also send it to our support desk, which is online, and we help support you throughout the course of your membership and the life of your business if you're a platinum member. So I wouldn't get too worried about a business plan, although it's good to have maybe an executive summary, which would be a 1 or 2 page summary of the niche you're going after and kind of what you're going to do for sales and marketing, and maybe a quick, some goals and maybe a pro forma on what some of your expenses are going to be and what you're projecting wise in revenue and profit. Pretty simple, pretty basic. If you need something like that, it's part of freightbrokerbootcamp.com. You can check it out. We have a sample business plan built in there. That's been in there for a long time. People love it. It's a great tool for people that are looking for that type of clarity. I think it's a good idea. Good question, Michelle. Thanks. Another question from Lorraine. Any help on where to look on being a freight agent? Yes. Here's where you don't look. Don't look on Indeed. Don't look on job ads. Don't look there, because all of those companies are going to be looking for agents who already have a book of business. And if you are brand new, you don't have a book of business, right? This is where everybody gets discouraged. They go try to apply at my old company, Logistic Dynamics, and they get turned down. I have no influence over that. I sold it. Even when I was there, we didn't hire brand new agents because we didn't have to. We had a product that could attract established agents who had a book of business, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, and they would come on and we would support them in a partnership. If you're brand new, the best place to look is local to where you live. Find some brokers that are local and start contacting them. Start reaching out to them by email. Start reaching out to them by phone and tell them your plan. Tell them that you're willing to work for absolute total commission only basis. It costs them absolutely nothing to help get you started, and you guys will share in the profits. It's an agent program where you'll be totally independent. Share with them your vision of how that would work and the benefits to both sides. Start reaching out to your local brokerages, and if you don't have that, keep spinning out further and further. But find smaller brokerages. Find brokerages that they've been in business for at least a year, typically is what you're looking for. But they're, just so you know, more than 50% of brokers out there do less than $5 million in sales. So the prospects of you coming on and working straight commission, even if all you did was generate an additional $1 million in revenue per year after your second or third year, you'd be increasing their business by 20%. And it costs them zero fixed cost. The only time they pay you is when they make a profit as well. So start local. And start doing outreach and then spin yourself outwards. Focus on smaller brokerages. and just get out there. Here's what I tell you. I will challenge anybody who's watching this right now, live or on replay. Do what I told you and have a conversation with 50 brokerages, and I'll bet you $1,000 that you are going to get hired as an agent if you do what I suggest that you do, which is put together a very simple summary of your plan, reach out to brokers, start having conversations. And if you talk with any of those brokers, if you talk to those 50 brokers over the course of the next several months, right, in a quick phone call, right, you are going to get an opportunity to become an agent. I have challenged many people to this, and none of them that contacted 50 brokers ever came back and said that they did not get hired. Matter of fact, they all came back and said they got hired if they called all 50 brokers. Now, sometimes they got hired on the first or second call. Sometimes it took them 10 calls. Sometimes it took them more. But ultimately, here's what I can tell you. If you can't sell yourself into a straight commission position with a small freight broker who's looking to grow and doesn't have a lot of capital to invest in risk, but is able to work with you on a no risk situation, if you can't sell yourself into that position, you're probably going to struggle getting shippers. So this is a great way to start selling with little or no risk, right? You have no risk. So that would be my suggestion, Lorraine. Hope that helps. Plus, if you want more details on that, you can go to my blog, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/blog, and type in get hired in the search box, get hired. And I have an entire article and video and training on how to get hired as a freight agent. And if you can't get hired as a freight agent, get hired as a sub-agent under an agent. That's another technique. Watch that video because I even talk about that in that training video. So I hope that helps. Good question. So Dawn has a question. Are agents that already have a book of business easy to come by? Are they expensive? Okay, so as a new broker, if you are a new broker and you're thinking about adopting the agent business model, you are probably going to struggle hiring experienced agents with a book of business. Here's why. Because as a startup, you have little or nothing to offer them. You don't have any credit. You don't have any marketing in place. You don't have any brand. You don't have a lot of technology. The only thing you can offer them potentially is a higher commission, but you don't have the tools set up to do that. So what I always recommend as a new broker is not to go out and focus on trying to recruit agents. I suggest you go out and start getting your own customers, moving your own freight, developing your own systems, and making your own profits on your own efforts initially, just like I did. The first 3 years of my business, I didn't hire any agents. Now, I'm not saying you have to wait 3 years. You might only have to wait 3 months. But ultimately, I waited 3 years and we did all of our own internal customers initially. And then after we had a product, we had a website, we had marketing, we had tools, we had credit, we had systems in place. We had all that in place. We went out to the market and we started hiring and entertaining agents. Now, even then we struggled a little bit initially to try to figure out what the ingredients were, how to find them, how to market to them, how to land those deals and set those partnerships up. But eventually we were able to do that. By the time I sold the company, we had 70 or 80 offices throughout the US. And those were either maybe from 1 to 20 man operations. And before I sold the company, we did over $80 million in sales per year in 2015. I sold it in 16. So yeah, I think the agent model can be a good business model. If you are a brand new agent, you will probably most likely have to hire brand new, inexperienced agents. Or if you're a brand new broker, you'll probably have to hire inexperienced brand new agents, which isn't always a bad thing. But I do strongly suggest that you as the broker control your own destiny and go out and start selling and getting clients on your own, develop those assets, develop those skills, develop those tools, develop that brand, and then you can go out and start entertaining agents once you have some of that in place. You have to have a product that's valuable to established agents. And right now as a startup, you probably don't. So that's the truth, like it or not. Hope it helped on. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up for today with the Q&A. I really appreciate you being here. I'm cutting this a little bit short. I'm going to go sledding with my daughter. I got a few things I got to do before that. I'm really glad you guys were here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the stream. That's the price of admission. Truly appreciate you being here. I hope this helped you. You guys can check this out again on facebook.com/freightbroker bootcamp, or you can check it out on YouTube at youtube.com/freightbrokers, or just search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome new year, because I won't talk to you until after the new year. And I will see you in 2021.